countries, all the
Fifth
fans,
and final round.
all the supporters, all the
Final
players,
day.
and
Ito na yung match
everybody
5.
behind the scenes for putting it
Last
all
game na
together.
to.
You are absolutely amazing.
And for the boys on the desk doing a fantastic job for this
Yes, sir.
whole event for the World Invitational, and especially Jason's been doing East and West. This guy's mental. He's out of his goddamn mind. You know what? We're going to be out of our
Tapos
minds at the end
makukunin
of this
dyan,
game
Lods.
in Imperium because
Hindi ko
we
pa sure,
are going to be
ano ba yun?
dropping on the battlegrounds for the very
Kung magkakaroon
last
po
time
ng
for the
World,
World Invitational East.
kung magkakaroon pa ng Grand Finals, baka 8 dito.
Great closure
East
to
lang.
their World Invitational
Baka lang
event
po.
and adventure.
8
We'll have to
sa
see,
East,
but man,
8 sa
can't
West.
wait to see how things are going to come out. Are we going to see something out of the ordinary to find closure to this one? We'll see, but so far it just seems pretty standard with a more southern.
Sana Blacklist, tol.
coming on through. So teams like Navi, George Paul, not
Sana
gonna be-
Blacklist, sasabayan na ng Blacklist sa Russo, kapakapal! Nararamdaman ko!
You be careful now. No, run along. Stay safe. Be careful.
Tama ba prediction ko?
With the Xavier, they haven't really had the best of days, but either of Navi,
Naku nga!
they haven't really had the best of days. It is
Kanseran
possible
time na!
for Xavier to overtake second. Now, it would require a massive result and possibly a bit of a risk-taking from the Xavier, and if they take that risk and it kind of bites them, they could also lose that third place. So I think I know what
Yan
you're
na,
gonna, what
tangina.
your answer is gonna be.
Wala pa rin.
But I gotta ask anyway.
Wala pa
Do you
rin.
think it's worth
Sana
them
Blacklist!
I'm
Hindi,
always
kumuha lang
for
sila
a
ng
risk at the end. I think it's
sasakyan.
great content in
North
general.
pa
No
rin.
content is what we're here for. We want to see some fights. We want to see some
Stop!
people at each other's throats. But
Laging
if
nasa
you're in a strong
baba!
position and you have a risk of, if you have something to lose, then do not go for it. If you're Valdez and you're so comfortable,
Wala
you
na,
can
MVP
go
na si
for it.
Martin,
Chances
no?
of teams
Si
down
Tixi,
below
dalawa lang
and
pala
do
alam
whatever
ni
the hell
Martin
you
kay
want. So
Tixi, oh.
I would say mostly is what position you're in.
Yeah, for sure. Not only do we have a hot drop between Navi and I8,
Uy,
but we also have a hot
grabe
drop
laban ng
between
Navi sa
Navi
military
and
miss. Walang umaatras,
Now,
ano?
Myths, I haven't seen them drop in Novo at all. Is it just because it's the last game of the
Walang
day? they wanna
umaatras
have a
dalawa
bit
sa
of
dalawang
fun?
team na to.
But they're dropping on zombies. They want to have the fight in Nova.
Walang
So we
umaatras.
move on over to that one. Gotta have a look, obviously, at the positioning of Navi. They have a bit of a 2-2 split, so I8, they seem to at least recovered from the first game of the day where they maybe got caught out by Navi. Although Johnny, he's taken a bit of damage. Unfortunately, Meku hits the window still and can't connect all those shots.
Hey, look, not gonna lie, we have two tournaments
Ako,
happening
pinush na
right now.
si, ano?
Tournament currently at the top for first.
Pag natuso ng mga Navi, walang makakalaban si, ano? Walang makakalaban sa MVP.
Gonna be peeking through.
Ah, si Miguel, nadali na.
There's not much Meku could really do. UZM going to be
Wala
chasing it down.
makakalaban sa MVP si Martin.
That's the kill
Pag natuso ng
confirmed. See
Navi.
you later, Alligator. It was good seeing you. Back to the
Suntukan
lobby
na
you
to.
go for the very last
Suntukan na
time.
to.
As Navi down to 3. I mean, hey, at least it does seem like I8 learned, right? And then okay, they're going to drop on us because of the pain path. We're going to drop on top of each other to actually be prepared to get the man advantage in these fights. They got the first one. Now they're going to be putting the focus potentially onto Kitsune.
Well, it is important that they take that body advantage and they look to push with of
Laging
course, they
talo
don't
si
wanna
Isa Class sa
overstep
kanila,
their
tingnan
mark,
natin
and
ngayon
they
kung
wanna make sure they have
makakabalik
relevant information,
makakabalik
but
ang
the
ZE.
important thing is that they
Laging
look to
pidang
stick
si
together
Ian.
and cover each other's back. Make sure that if one knock comes through, you're able to counter that instantly.
Kitsune,
Up the
delikado na.
stairs, the nade comes through, nearly connects on in through the smoke. Does tickle Kitsune down to about half health, but he's able to
Ayun yung nasa nagod, si
be able
Tixi.
to breathe a little
Ayan
sigh
na.
of relief.
Ayun yung pumapangalawa kay
Tixi, he's in
Martin.
the back line by that long tower. He could get a bit of a backstab and create an opening for the rest of his Navi teammates.
That's the thing, they got such a good wraparound. One player to the east, one player center, one player to the west. And I
Kitsune,
think that is a
nagtago na lang
good way
smoke,
to
oh.
play it out. Kitsune, luckily enough, though, no one's going to be trying to push him on top of the roof. And he's just waiting. This
Oh,
is so
galing ni Kitsune,
smart from Navi.
nagbibitch,
I'm loving
oh.
it because he knows
Pag
that
may
he plays on
lumabas
the
na,
roof. Yeah,
mababanatan
he
ni
can
ano.
push his location from the staircase over to the east
Mababanatan
and the
ni
ones to the
Tixi.
west, which are covered by both Tixi and Matic. So there's literally 0% chance you're able to push it if you do not get rid of those two players beforehand. So I'm loving how this setup works out for Navi. Despite not having the man advantage, the setup is just 10 out of 10.
What does Uzum do? I'm sorry, but he's prone down
May
in the
nakaabang din
building.
sa may likod.
I
Pag
gotta
umakyat si
wonder,
Blade,
he's on his
mababaril
own.
naman nung
That's
isa.
one thing, but why isn't he looking
Si
to
Matic.
have a look on the back line? I understand he's in a position where he can't join up with his teammates, but he has to start being proactive, creating a bit of a
gumagawa na ng
distraction.
trap yung
Because
Navi,
he can be the reason, although he might be a sacrificial lamb, he can be the starting point for IA grabbing a much stronger hold of this team fight and potentially wiping out Navi. But until then, in this moment and situation, he's a bit of a dead weight. And I know that sounds
Oh,
harsh.
Nasar, sa kabal.
It can hurt a little bit. I fully respect that. Coming out from that fight.
Init
So
pa ng pink
NASA
talaga.
when will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences? Being spread, trying to peek it out. Valdis, I mean, they drop in Rozhok / Sunken City split. You should not try and peek that position. There's always going to be something coming against you. Yeah, there you go. NASA always losing one player early. They seem like they like to start. They want to make it easy for the teams around them. We're going to give ourselves a handicap. Then we'll be down to 3 and we'll truly have a challenge, even though, well, they're not top 3, so I don't know. No, maybe.
I don't know.
It's a weird challenge.
By the way, zombies and myths, they actually avoided each other, and they're both disengaging separately. So maybe it was one of those things
Pakilang
where
game na po yan, game 5 na po.
didn't
Game
think
5
zombies
sa
were
mga
going to
baga.
drop in Novo.
Uso sa live
and
sa
they
mga
thought
baga,
it was
guys.
gonna be
O si
free,
Martin,
so
may
it's
napabagsak
something
na naman si Nasser.
to kind of think about. Another knock, by the way, Valdis onto a member Nasser with a bolt action sniper, so it's nice to see that being pulled through. Other teams inside the circle, which does hover towards Military Island. We could see our very first and only Military Island finish in the PMWI, but Geek Fam are still on that kind of split area around Gaka, which I think is okay considering where that phase 1 is. A1 had that coastline mainland position to drop close by. They didn't have to move forward, and they're able to get a lot of
Napipid pa yung
information by that western
Faldos,
bridge. Zeus rotating early. I've actually gone ahead of the Xavier on that kind of
Binibigay pa nila yung MVP kay Martin.
Pachinki Hill, but they even have a 2-player split on the direct hill down south of Pachinki. So as much as I like from Zeus, in other games they haven't really proven to protect the central circle area, so it does worry me a little bit.
Yeah. I just want to mention this about Valdis. There's one thing that I love about this team that I don't see in a lot of other teams, because I think it depends on your mentality and how you approach the game.
Yeah.
When you see teams that are in the first place and they're very heavily set himself apart from the rest, we're going to have a little bit of a replay as Martinez, how he got that shot. I mean, he gets into the car. That was going to be a pretty nice one with the M24. But when you look at some teams who are in first place by a huge, huge margin, which is exactly the case now for Valdis Esports, there are some that definitely put their foot off the pedal and they just, okay, we can relax now. I love teams when they fully commit, like, we don't care if we're in first. We're going to make a statement that we can just obliterate the rest of their teams. I saw so many tournaments where the teams in first, like, yeah, we won't do anything, but Valdis are always continuously doing as much as they possibly can, and I just love that from a team. So for that, big golden star for Valdis. I love it.
You're dead right, and a bit of an example of that is back in the EMEA Championship, because as much as Navi got a really strong start,
nasa silence ako sa mga nangyayari ah.
I'm not going to say they backed off a little bit, but they did allow other teams to get somewhat close to them in the stands where we thought, could this first place be lost? So you're dead right about that one. The medal to the pedal. Valdis don't stop stopping as the Xavier, allowing Zeus to get onto the hills above them.
Hey, only Jason's allowed to make fun of me for that, okay? Only Jason and Kalash.
I wasn't making fun, I was honoring you. Thank you very much.
You're quoting me. Fair enough, fair enough.
Yes.
Quoting me. No, I'm going to quote, I don't know I was going to go with that one, but I'm going to quote I8. I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to make it look cool and everything, but I8, they're done. Losing a lot of their players. I think they're down to 1 currently, so it seemed like the setup that came out from Navi actually paid dividends.
Nag-aaway na naman ba? Mag-aaway! Uy, rotate ang Blacklist. Maganda, rotate ang Blacklist ngayon! Sa kaliwa sila manggagaling!
A little bit too good on this spray. And he's going to try and get that kill confirm onto Zeus Godless with that nade of his own.
Sana sa atin ang huling
Zeus
walak
is
ako.
actually going to be trying to join up. The focus is, do you try and hold the front line, or do you allow one of your players to also go for the rest onto GE? It would be really important for them to get it. As do you see the circle shifts, and now Pachinki Hill is even more important for the information gathering.
Uy, gago! Kaliwason! Tak nangyari.
The information game is going to be top tier.
Parang binibenas-benas na. Gumagana na zone jutsu natin.
You low-key got to kind of flank around on the side of the hill, but the hill to the left is probably the easiest option, but it's also out in the open, which puts you in a position
bonus ka lang pagka MVP ka. Kung dapat ang mindset.
Closest to Pachinki isn't really the best. I8 go down, Navi end up getting the better of them. It's a harsh lesson in the final game of the day, but honestly, I can say that I8 should hold their head high with how they performed in this PMW.
Ay, may baril na naman, mate. Sumaya yung mate sa ano.
That's the thing with IA is I saw a lot of fans that were very supportive, which is great. You guys keep it up. You're one of the most active fans I've seen in a long time. So big thumbs up to that. It doesn't happen for every single team. It's great to have such a big fan base right off the bat. But you know, this is the first.
Binalaglag pa.
Okay, don't scare me like that. I thought Borky was done there for a second. But a lot of people set really high expectations for this team. This is the first time they're playing at this level.
Yeah, I know.
Very first time. And as I agree with what you said, they can help like.
Alam nila may nagaganap na bagbakan dito eh. Yari si Kitsune ngayon.
Too far out the side as it gets picked up by
Kaso
Broly.
secure na yung top 2, no?
First time. I'm sure we'll see IA in the future doing absolutely fantastic strides for the team and for their region. As now Tixi taking a 1-on-1 versus Broly. Broly, I love to see this.
Oh, loyori po ni
Seems like,
Tixi.
unfortunately, you're going up against
Pag napatay si Tixi, wala na si Martinez. Ano dyan, MVP dyan.
Oroki will actually be remaining in his current position here. He got spotted away for a second by Matic. Gonna try and make sure they trying to slow down and diminish the amount of mobility Na'Vi can really have. Now they're down to 1. It's going to be Matic. Trying to go for the nades, but doesn't quite connect. Yeah, and this is Myth's fight to win, really, very clearly.
Yeah,
Wala,
very
matik na lang.
opportunistic play by Myth, because I don't think they were necessarily expecting the team to be here, but when they heard the end
Oh, pumapalag po, hindi pa
fight
tapos.
between Navi and I8, they sniffed an opportunity to strike, and they are indeed striking.
And he turned this one into a 1v3 Matic. A lot of time, though. The res will come out to Broly. The nade idea is good. I get the premise. It's a little bit hard to play for Myth, though, but Matic, the more time you take, you know that those knocks are going to be coming back.
Ah, marirevive pa si Tixi, oh.
Smoke it up
Na-delay
too.
dun sa,
There you go.
ano,
That
sa
was smoke,
knockdown
trying to make
niya.
sure he can.
That's
The thing it took so long to actually go for the rest onto Tixi, and I think that
Ang
now
ingat sila.
Myth heard those footsteps. They must be alert
Pino-order
that
na
he is
ng
trying to
Myth,
get a teammate back on his 2 feet. He's going to
Just
try and jump behind.
full squad has been put back up by Myth, and if you notice, one of the Myth players is on the roof. That's to
Ang
try
oras
and
yan. Wala,
distract
nanonood
audio
tayo.
cues
Mamaya na
for
tayo
the other
mag-orasin
2
muna.
remaining players in Navi.
Naka, wala,
Really good
nakita
play.
na.
Only that, also to stop them
Boom.
from jumping out the windows. That is definitely the play they're going for to make sure they can regulate the movement that Navi's actually allowed to go for.
Ito na flashbang,
comes out.
binubulag na, oh.
I'm not sure if it actually connected onto Tixi, but
Pag napa-flashbang kasi, di mo makita ko sa bumang position ng wala ang full step.
angles, the blue zone's going to be doing a lot of
Wala
work
kung
on these
nakakalapit
teams
na eh.
too.
Ano,
Lot of
binubulag na
resources.
sila, oh.
Another flashbang coming out. Now they've got 2 angles.
Oh,
Navi
likod.
losing one instantly. It's down to
Ano lang.
Tixi. Can the clutch man make it happen versus
Ay,
Smith?
pumapalag pa! Pumapalag pa! Kumakanser po!
Bullets into the sky. He's got to reload.
Wala
He's
na pala! Wala na pala, gago!
He's got no meds. He's got nothing. He might
Ay, kumanser na lang! Kumanser na lang, gago!
fully respect that.
Wala eh, kailangan ng points eh.
Desperate measures,
Kailangan
last
ng
chance saloon.
points.
He cleans up the kill, it leaves Myth down to 2, but the
Kumanto sila.
win comes
Kasi baka
through.
makabutan sila ng third eh.
Man, Navi, I think that just kind of sums up the fight that Navi have put up in this PMWI. Let's be fair, they started off so poorly. But that day
Wag mo,
3
1-0
performance,
mo,
the
tayo.
highest
Easy.
single day performance, beating Valdez's 5 games in day 1, 109, just put them so heavily back up in the standings, and man, they deserve a lot of respect for
Nasa
it.
na kaya ang
Their
zone?
last game ends early and Myth, the
Zuxio.
Algerian side, they'll carry on as a duo.
This is a very scary Zuxi. He's got an orb in his hand. Luxy, how did he dodge that? Jeez, Toro, but
Ano yun?
no more Toro anymore. He's going to be actually mowed down
Yun lang.
by the M249
Wala na,
Suporta.
mamamatay
GS
na-
Gaming, South Korean
mamatay
team
na
just
kambal mo.
cruising by, but unfortunately going to have to
May
go for
suspend
stop.
dumating.
One-stop shop in the field versus BTR and also Zeus.
Naglabas na
as
AWM mo.
gonna go
Ayan
now
na.
a little bit back and
Naku,
forth.
naglabas na ng mga bo.
Friend with the orb has got a silencer too, making it a little bit hard to really pin down his location.
Oh,
They're in the edge of the circle, so I'm looking at
Distansya,
Tindar
bo.
in a good spot.
Gamitin mo yung
That's
text
gonna be
mo, bo.
defam. I love their positions, high ground, and they once again
Ah,
set up for
bagsak
success
si
in the early
Liquid.
stage.
Also, reject.
Ah,
But
knockdown
as
sila ng
typical,
AWM.
reject spread is a little bit wide, and that might
Ubus
come to
ang
hit
Nasser.
them. As DS take down Nasser Esport, they've had a great day. Jordanian representatives, I feel, have really proven themselves a lot more compared to at the start of PMWI, but their last day
Lalo, di na
ends
umabot.
up early, and I did notice that knock, by the way, from BTR.
Zux has been just disgusting with that orb. Headshot after headshot.
Ayun lang, may hawak ang grenade.
Gets a little bit too
Huli ka,
close to
boy.
Icy. Won't get frozen up just a tad.
Nakabera ni Liquid, oh.
Liquid's further behind too.
Ay, sakto kaya? Oh, sakto kaya? Para sakto! Tunaw! Wala
Pinpoint
na!
accuracy once
Tunaw
again.
na mag-utol!
Wins out. Trace and nade
Tunaw
too.
grenade din!
The old Godless, what's the game plan
Oh.
here? Because you can cross over pretty easily, but Liquid in the
Uy,
background
sabang,
too,
ay,
like, a little
tunaw,
bit of
oh.
an oversight, and Ryzen.
Grabe kong
I
grenade
love
ng
the
Ryzen
nades on
na to, ah.
BTIs. Like, Blank touched upon it perfectly, right?
Wala,
BTR and
disengage
also
status, oh.
the Indonesian
Napitas
region,
yung
the
dalawang
nades,
mag-utol.
they created grenades. They're the ones who make
Ayang
them. They built
AWM,
them.
ah.
It's insane.
Yep. It's insane. Absolutely fantastic. Good turnaround from BTR. Zeus are kind of recognizing that, and they're just going to disengage away from that.
Ay,
knowing
ba't
that
kayo
they've
may
picked
nag-aaway
up
pa dyan? Huwag na kayo mag-aaway!
kills, but they
Wala
are
nga.
also still
Last
up
game
as
na
a
may
team
nag-aaway
that
po!
tonight. respect that from Zeus. I do think
Buti
they
na
could
lang, wala
have
akong admin. Sabi
pushed
ko, may
that
admin ako. Maraming
to
mamimit
take down
talaga.
BTR, but when you're talking about
Busy ako sa
playing for
panonood
late
eh.
stages of the game and trying to protect their
Wala na, si Martin na, si
not
Tixi
only
patay
fourth
na eh.
place, but overtake
Secured na ni
take
Martin
the
ang
Xavier
MVP.
in third, it's important that they get to the final few teams.
That's what they're going to be trying to aim for. A1's got a pretty nice spot, but not when it comes to the late game. They need to start looking to gather more intel. I would have sent a few players forward, especially
yung mga team na
Sinistan.
malapit,
I think if
RC,
they start
saka
putting
Black,
information and
DRS,
scouting
kaya.
towards the northern side,
Ayan,
guys, where it
nako
should
po,
be.
putang ina.
Field
Pwede na
finish.
yan.
They closed off. Not fun. Not fun, Imperial.
Makakalaban natin, RC.
There are some teams already in a good
Makakalaban natin,
position.
RC.
I like where Yala currently
Dalawang
stands out.
RC lang yung
Keep
nakaposisyon,
going
pero
to
to,
the compound.
pabackup na si
Right,
Sarah
west,
sa
Chopsticks
duelo.
and Xavier too, man. A lot of the teams that we should
Doon
pay
din
attention
papasok
to
yung A1,
here
no?
could have a really good game.
Tambulan
Xavier,
to.
especially if they stand strong, they could be putting himself in a completely advantageous position in the rankings. And they could do amazing, but
Wala.
this is going to have a lot of
Gulong.
potential coming their way. Let's see if it's going to be good enough for them.
It's a big ask, but could they still overtake Navi? They're out, although Navi did get a few kills on board. I wonder if it's possible. It's going to have to start by taking out Zeus at least, but push them back. Zeus are going to go for a deep rotation in center circle. I think it's way too early to try and pull that off, Zeus. You're going into the unknown. I can't see that working out for Godless, to be fair.
Just answer your question again.
Pasok
Xavier, if they want to
naman yung
overtake
palso,
Na'Vi, minimum, they're going to need a win, and they're going to need an
Problema, may
insane
compound
amount of
pa.
kills. Not sure exactly how many it is they're going to need, because Na'Vi's picked up a few kills themselves, as you said. But they're going to need an insane amount, so we'll see if they can push it that far, but at least, no, they're
Kaya
fighting
ganun
for
lang.
that third place, and they want to make
Simula
sure
day
that
3 hanggang
not
day
overtake them,
day
because
4.
Zeus is talking about them very close
Wala
by.
na tayong-
It will be very
wala na
interesting,
tayong
a really
nakuhang zone.
fun run of events if these two teams actually clash against each other.
Man, and that's the thing, like, this is the thing with Reject. I highlighted their solid position in the previous phase, but because they were so heavily separated, they allowed A1 to get
Yes,
ahead.
Tyro, knockdown na, ito na.
A1 have an overall better position. Now, can RC...
overrotate sila sa ibabaw.
Yes, they can, because they've gotten
Bagsak din si Claire.
and a kill onto Reject.
Tang ina, patay ang Tyler
Spotted
natin.
away, car explodes. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes A1. Eliminated. See you later, Bangladesh team. Was good having you guys. Still, we have to say for A1, it's been a big ramp
na,
up
harap
for
ka
the
lang.
last few
Bumalik
days.
sila
They
sa taas.
started slow and they've been ramping up really strong. And we talked about it last game, right? How A1, I think, could be very clearly one of the top teams in the next
Wala na.
PUBG if they make it there. So hopefully that'll be the case. I'm sure we'll see a lot, especially of Darth Dante. That's the man that
Rotate nila, umakyat pa
he's
sila
up
eh.
next time we're meeting the land. He's going to be making a lot of jokes at our expenses. Fnatic Zombies, again, 2 players instantly knocked on down.
Okay lang yan. Tignan natin, baka may mula si Ion saka si Alas.
Stepping
Tignan
up
natin.
heavily in this event, Liquid 2. Everyone's just pushing their way forward, and Fnatic Zombies
Pagpasok
are
pa lang na
just
sa
cruising by,
problemado
avoiding
na
all the
Blacklist, eh, no?
fights.
Yeah, like, yeah, we're out of here, boys. We're just going to push deep into the center circle. I also got to say, that push by Zeus, I don't know how they didn't get punished for, but by God, it worked out. They're in the open, they're in the field, they're by a hay bale with a couple of vehicles either side. They've just got to pray that the next circle stays in their favor. Yala, I love the separation, and normally I'm kind of critical of
Dali,
their
Tyler.
2-2 split, but I think in this
Kasi
kind of
nung nadaanan nila,
situation,
hindi arrest eh.
they're setting themselves up really nicely for the next circle, which in this kind of
Doon
circle
kasi sila
is
galing.
kind of important. But
Akala
when
siguro
this
nila
next
clear
phase
pa rin yung
pops up,
dadaanan
they
nila.
really
Eh, may
will
mga
have
teams
to
na
join up as
pumesto.
a full squad.
It's
Kaya
going to be the
pagbalik
name of
nila,
the game
wala.
for them. Get back to the
Inabot
full
sila.
squad. You might just have a chance to make things work out in your favor. Fnatic Zombies going to lose another player. That's going to be Salam. Hamco Fi still up and
Ayun, pasok si Alas.
hoping to just make his way
Ions,
forward.
dalawa.
But DRS, a lot of
DRS
information
naka-spread,
for
2-2
rejects.
split.
We'll see if they can make the most out of it, depending on where the circle goes. It should normally center up into the fields. It could go to the compound down south for Geek Fan, but really the odds are definitely not looking in the favor of those positions
Kanino kaya?
actually being taken into
Feeling ko
account in the
baldos
next
na naman
circle.
ng... Ayan!
And it actually,
Putang
there you
ina
go.
ka!
Shift up northwest.
Yun na!
Buildings taken into
Pasok
account by
tayo!
DRS/.
Papasok tayong top 5 pag ganyan!
Yeah,
A lot of teams got to push in now.
and Palside being a little bit downtrodden, but this final game they have a chance to
Pasok tayo, ha?
put themselves in a good finish and end on a high note. Blacklist
Anong
are
kaya
fighting
mabantayan
them
ni-
and they
ni
send a
Ianson
couple
sa
players
kanelas?
into the circle, but leaving
Kailangan
one
lahat ng lalapit,
player
taboy na
behind.
kaagad.
Alas, I don't know where he's going, but he's made it in, getting close to the last Fnatic Zombies players, and
Ano?
Bryson getting the revive onto Liquid to try and keep them up as a duo
Alas ba yun?
in the edge of the circle.
Yung
That's
nasa may
important.
4 o'clock?
Very important for them to keep that in mind.
Si Alas ba yun? May sabihin magkaiwalay si Alas saka si Ions.
Avoiding Zeus altogether, but Zeus, they seem in like a lot of trouble. This is going to be super hard for them to move away
Alas
from that
ko.
position. Geek fam going to be
Magkaiwalay si Alas saka si Ions, oh. Bakit magkaiwalay sila?
Xavi just continue by. I'm sorry, mate. They just can't go and save you out. This is not going to be a
Magkaiwalay
solo
sila.
Lamborghini. They just can't afford to do that this time around.
Natin kung paano gagawin.
Just
Wala na,
huddle
wala
up into a position
magpapanak down.
for the circle itself while keeping information, while Reject is just right above them. A few nades and that's done for Xavier.
I don't know what Divine's doing. Zero's knocked down, which looked fair enough
Wala
because
magpapanak
there's a
down.
whole cluster of
Tangina,
teams
binigyan
and
nga tayo
players
ng sun.
around
Ganyan naman
this
ang
area.
sitwasyon natin.
The southern edge of the circle out in the open, just trying to use your buggies, your vehicle smokes, give you a level of protection. But DRS
Hindi bumabaril, oh.
down
Hindi
on the
bumabaril
hills
si Alas saka si
above,
Ions,
just throwing the grenades forward, trying to pick apart the players of Xavier one by one.
I thought Reject would be the one to pop those nades, but seemed like DRS were the one to...
BTR, Valveless, nagbabakpakan na naman, no? Toko na si Alas, daking ko lang sa position
The
niya.
final moments, but everyone is so spread right now. This is a very hectic way to close off this World Invitational. ZZP just cruising around. Hamco Fire trying to peek out of the smoke, trying to get the fight, but ZZP's going to be dropping on
Masingan,
that.
naglabas na, oh. Hasta la vista, baby. Saka naglabas ka na Masingan.
Nothing you can do, Hamco Fire. That's it for Fnatic Zombies eliminated in 11th. But man,
Bagsak si Alas, nakot na si Alas.
from Geek Fam gets it
Ions
done
na
on
lang.
ZZP. How is the rest of the team going to deal with that for DS Gaming from South Korea? As they're just going to get picked up one by one. The moment the smokes are gone, it is time for DRS to pick up the kills.
BTR, the last
Oh,
two
eliminated
players,
the BTR.
it was very tricky. They were on the eastern edge of the circle, but Valdez joined in the mix. So did Zeus, and guess who's come out on top
Alas,
of
knockdown pa rin.
both teams so far? It's the leaders
Ions
of the
na lang,
pack,
pwedeng
baby.
makalaban ni
Valdez
Ions
still
dito
up
yung
as
mga
a full
DRS.
squad. Zeus has one player left standing. That's all the
Kanino,
while,
Zone?
Yala did join up
Ions,
as
sa'yo kami, huwag ka magpapamatay!
all the northern area to their control.
No one wants to commit to the fields. It is horrible. You got so little areas to really fight from. You want to avoid it at all costs. And most of the cars are heavily damaged. It's not easy to rotate with them. Zeus, they're out of the game. That is actually huge. You got to keep in mind.
Oy,
Zeus
go,
were
go, lopit na zone.
They were in 4th place, and Xavier also just went out. I'm
Lopit
not sure.
pa,
It's
talaga,
extremely
di naman
close between
nagkalat
these two
kay
teams. Who's
Ions.
on top? I do not know. We'll have to see later on with the
Like
boys on the
Salas,
desk. They're
pinatay na
going to have to
naman
give
ninja.
the answers to those questions. Everyone's getting mowed down. Same for
Ay,
Valdez
eliminate
Esports.
Valdez.
Not going to find closure with a win, but still we know that
Wala
they
na,
are
win
going
na
to be
Valdez,
first at the
2-1
end.
MVP.
So what a great performance in this World Invitational East for Valdez Esports.
Kaya si
Now
Ions,
still
ah.
got a few teams that are trying to find glory in the finishing
si Ions,
moments. As Geek Fam pushing himself forward to the hay bale.
Really good play. Duello comes in, gets a knock into one of the Geek Fan players. Japan, South Korea, those two teams are still in the mix of this final game. And when you're talking about kind of the middle of the pack there in both 6th and 8th respectively, looking to hold on to those positions, we could see Reject
may
jump
smoke pa kaya
off
si,
ahead
ano?
of A1 because A1 went out
May
early.
smoke pa kaya si
DS
Ions?
Gaming going to say... Oh! Okay, for 1 second, Suporta roll that one over. This
Patay
seemed
pa
like it
tong
was
mga
snatched away
Yala.
by Loco of Yala Esport. Sanes will also get
Pupulpos pa,
confirmed away,
6
but this
points
time by Bandar. So they're really good. I think it was 8 kills I saw for Yala. So trying to find good closure.
Yeah.
This is a team that has been looking so
Ay,
strong.
puto na nag-oso po!
Win. Sportugis getting absolutely battered, and that's it for the South Korean team, eliminated in 5th. Now only 4 teams remaining.
DRS
Got DRS,
kompleto.
Yala.
Ay, napada pa kay Ions! Panata mo Ions! Puntos na yan! Nice! Nice! Nice, so 3 points.
And this one gets himself
3
the kill with
points.
the barrel, and he's going to swiftly confirm that one.
Nice. Smoke agad. Ay, pa baka.
Points indeed.
Ayun pa, isa!
The living points don't work.
Dapa.
There's gonna rock up in on towards the
Smoke.
edge of the blue zone. Eons is able to use that
Smoke mo.
buggy that was in a play.
Pangilan tayo, pangatlo.
But in the end,
Pangatlo.
Bandar comes out on top.
You know what? Not gonna lie,
Pangatlo tayo.
this is a pretty good way to close off your adventure. Started off with a win,
teams.
ended up with a good game, but yeah,
Pangatlo,
indeed, they said
11
only
points,
2 teams.
isang kill,
Yala Esports
10
in the game,
placing,
and the team
tignan
from the
natin.
top, DRS. Can they finally get themselves a dub? That will be great to see coming out from this team. I think they've been trying their best to get themselves some
Na-pressure
wins
na si
throughout
Ions,
this
no?
event. There's been a little bit of hard
Nakakalimutan na
work for
mag-healing,
DRS.
nakakalimutan na mag-healing.
We'll see if they
Lumaban
can
na,
try and find
pasa
some great
na.
closure. Get himself 1 win. I believe it was on that Sunhawk game. The second
Kung top
one
3
will be a
tayo,
good
yung
way to
placing
end
natin.
the
10
adventure
points, taas
here for
isang
the World
kill.
Invitational East.
11 points.
Indeed. DRS looking for their second, but down the hill they go. Powerful. It was his birthday yesterday. Happy belated
Tingnan natin
birthday.
kung aakit tayo ng top
You
8.
get a chicken dinner for the
Mga
greatest
kalahati lang,
birthday
okay na yun.
surprise.
See if that's
Hindi
going to
na
come to
masama.
fruition. AJ being knocked him down. If the smoke dissipates and still has a good position, the information from AJ could have been strong, but now Bandar's got that tippity top of the mountain under control.
Mafia.
They're everywhere. There is no escaping Yala from their current location from which they're
Oh my
fighting.
God.
Mafia Ninja had absolutely no clue of what was coming his way. And now that's it. It's going to be 2 players of Yala Esport, Powerful and Bandar. Bandar did have a first aid, going to pop that one up. Oh, DRS got AG back on his 2 feet. It's a 3v2. DRS from the POW. The Saudi Arabian team of Yalla Esport, who will be the one to find closure here for the World Invitational East. Things are slowing down just a tad, but the circle going heavily away the rest of DRS. Powerful has the game-winning position right now.
He does, but he's on his own.
3 versus
And
2.
Bandar needs to try and really work together with Powerful to coordinate a
3 versus 2.
beautifully played attack.
I wonder if Mafia Ninja's still giving information on where Powerful stands. If they get rid of Powerful, that's
Oh,
great.
go
Oh,
for
they
the
get it. That's
smoke,
huge.
go,
That's
go.
immense. Bandar trying to move away from that
Tara lang.
position. It's 3 plus of
Tapos.
DRS just throwing everything they have on top of Bandar. He gets to the crate just in a nick of time.
Wala na.
But
DRS
DRS
ang huling
the
alakak.
Pally win. That'll be huge.
Nakapagtago pa sa
Bandar
may...
gets the first day once again, up to 75% health,
Nakapagtago
trying to
pa
go
sa
for
may
the sprint to the
rap.
open.
Oh,
It's
sayang.
him solo onto Galton.
Pinaka-oram
But now
lang.
they're trying to
Kita
wrap
ka na.
around Nemo. It's just solo has to
Naglabas-
switch weapon
Ayan
too.
na.
He's getting pushed upon and
DRS
there's
ang
not
huling
much he can
alakak.
really make happen as we close it off with a DRS win on game 20 for the World Invitational East. But at the end, Imperium,
Ito na pinaka-best round natin ngayong game day 4.
It is going to be none other than Valdez Esports from the side of Thailand. What a great,
Champion na.
great showcase from this team.
Tingnan natin yung-
Valdez has
yung
been
score.
absolutely on point from start to finish, and they truly
Third
deserve the
tayo.
trophy. This
Wala
might
na.
just be the next world champion at the very end.
Man, Valdez Esports they may have dropped the murder, but they certainly added that to the battlefield.
Tanggalin natin yan.
Controlled, dominated, damaged, brutalized, you name it, whatever word you want to
Pati may
use,
click mo na
it
ako.
was their
Kampo.
tournament to win. Right from the offset, 105 points in day 1. It speaks
Di
for
tayo,
itself. And then day
yan.
2, day 3, even today in the final day, they were always up there. Consistency personified. They didn't let up, and they fully deserve to be crowned your PMWI East champions.
Okay, that's going to be it. We're going to send it back to the boys on the desk to break it down to see exactly how the top teams position himself at the very end. Boys, take it away.
Well, that was well-deserved out of the team from Thailand, taking home
Ilan kaya tayo overall? Tignan natin.
$2,000 for the charity of their choice. And honestly, I think it couldn't have gone to any other team but them.
Sabi sa ating 1,000
This
best
team has
nanonood.
played so consistent the entire time. They have shown